Alarming news is quietly shaking the health world. Young adults in their 20s and 30s are now facing heart problems that were once almost exclusively seen in people decades older. This rise is not just a coincidence or a rare exception. The truth is startling. Lifestyle, hidden health conditions, stress, and overlooked habits are silently putting millions at risk without obvious warning signs. In this video, we will uncover the hidden reasons why heart disease is no longer an old person's problem and explore the surprising factors that are quietly damaging hearts at an early age. Viewers will learn how daily choices, subtle symptoms, and even invisible risks can combine to create serious heart conditions much earlier than expected. We will reveal facts that most people rarely hear about, including how silent high blood pressure, hidden cholesterol, genetic predispositions, and constant stress interact to strain the heart over time. You will also discover why even young, seemingly healthy people are not immune, and why small, unnoticed lifestyle habits can have massive long-term effects. By watching until the end, you will gain insights that can help protect your heart, identify warning signs early, and understand the real impact of factors like diet, exercise, mental pressure, and environmental influences. This is not just information to watch and forget, it is knowledge that can change the way you live and the way you care for your body. Every segment of this video is designed to reveal crucial pieces of the puzzle, including the subtle ways that modern life can undermine heart health, the silent indicators that many ignore, and the steps you can take to reduce risk before it becomes urgent. Welcome to our channel, where we explore the most pressing health issues in a clear and practical way. Make sure to subscribe so you can stay informed and take action to protect your heart now, rather than waiting for a wake-up call that may come too late. This video will not only explain why this shift is happening, but will also leave you with a deeper understanding of your own health and the choices that can make a real difference. As we dive deeper, you will be surprised by how everyday habits, unnoticed stresses, and hidden health conditions can quietly affect the heart. By the end, viewers will feel empowered with knowledge that is both practical and urgent, ready to make changes that can protect themselves and their loved ones. Stay with us through each section to uncover facts that are rarely discussed, learn the real causes behind this alarming trend, and find out what can be done to safeguard heart health in a world where risk is increasing among the young. This journey through the unseen factors affecting heart health will reveal the connections between modern life, hidden health risks, and early onset heart problems. Every insight shared is backed by research and real-life observations, highlighting how habits, stress, and environment can silently accumulate and create serious consequences. Subscribing now ensures you do not miss essential information that could help you detect early signs, adopt preventive strategies, and understand the deeper reasons behind the rise of heart problems in young adults. By the end of this video, you will not only know the causes but also gain awareness of the lesser-known contributors, such as how hidden fat deposits, subtle hormonal changes, and genetic factors interplay with lifestyle to affect heart health. Each point is carefully explained so that even complex ideas become simple and actionable, helping viewers take steps towards stronger, healthier hearts. Stay with us as we explore these truths, piece by piece, uncovering what the medical world and research are revealing about the hearts of young adults today. This video promises to provide a complete picture, combining surprising facts, overlooked details, and practical takeaways that are critical for anyone who wants to understand the real reasons behind the increasing heart problems in younger generations. Subscribing to the channel ensures you remain updated with vital health insights and strategies that can make a genuine difference in daily life, preventing risks before they escalate into emergencies. By the conclusion, you will understand the hidden dangers, subtle warning signs, and the crucial habits that influence heart health, empowering you to take control and make informed choices that protect your most vital organ in the years ahead. Alarms are ringing in the world of health because something that once seemed almost impossible is now becoming more common. Heart disease used to be something doctors talked about almost exclusively in older generations, something that would show up after decades of life experience, decades of wear and tear on the body. For most of human history and even into recent decades, heart attacks, blocked arteries, and serious heart conditions were spoken about in the same breath as retirement, gray hair, and long years lived. People in their 40s and 50s were sometimes told to pay attention to their hearts, and those in their 60s and 70s were warned that it might be time to slow down, to watch their diet, to take care of themselves. Because the heart, like the rest of the body, eventually weakens with age. There was a kind of unspoken expectation that the heart would hold out until later in life, that youth provided a kind of shelter, a protective period when serious heart trouble was rare. That idea is now being challenged, and what we are seeing is a dramatic shift in the pattern of heart disease. The old assumptions are no longer enough to explain what is happening, because now cases in young adults are rising at a rate that has surprised doctors, researchers, and families alike. Individuals in their 20s, 30s, and even late teens are showing signs of heart strain, blocked arteries, early onset hypertension, and other cardiovascular issues that were once considered almost exclusive to older adults. This change is not simply a matter of more diagnoses because of better technology or more testing. The increase in young adults facing serious heart problems reveals that the reasons are more complex than just aging. Instead, there is a convergence of lifestyle habits, environmental pressures, and hidden health risks that are combining to wear down the heart much earlier in life than anyone expected. One of the most significant contributors to this trend is the way lifestyle habits have shifted in modern society. Unhealthy lifestyle habits have quietly become the norm for a large portion of the population, especially among young people. The patterns that once helped keep hearts strong, like regular physical activity and balanced diets centered around whole foods, have been replaced by routines that do little to support cardiovascular health. A sedentary life has become common, with long sitting hours dominating work, school, leisure, and even social interactions. Young adults spend most of their time behind screens, whether working at a desk, scrolling through phones, streaming shows, or gaming. These long periods of inactivity mean the heart is not challenged in a positive way, and blood circulation slows down. Without movement, the heart becomes weaker over time, and the systems that keep blood flowing efficiently start to deteriorate. A heart that does not get regular exercise, that is never pushed to strengthen itself, gradually loses resilience. Circulation becomes sluggish, blood vessels become less flexible, and the risk of clots and blockages rises. This lack of movement is something that slowly undermines heart health day by day, often without the person realizing the damage until it is already significant. At the same time, poor diet habits have taken root in the daily lives of many young people. The convenience of fast food, processed meals, sugary drinks, and snacks high in unhealthy fats has made it easy to choose taste and convenience over nutrition. These foods are engineered to be satisfying, addictive even, and they are often cheaper and more accessible than healthier alternatives. Over time, this diet, high in calories but low in nutritional value, begins to take a serious toll on the heart. The excess fats in these foods contribute to rising levels of bad cholesterol in the bloodstream, clogging arteries and making it harder for blood to flow freely. High cholesterol leads to the formation of plaque on the walls of arteries, narrowing the pathways through which blood must travel. This narrowing forces the heart to work harder to pump blood, increasing strain and contributing to the development of high blood pressure. The combination of a sedentary life and a poor diet creates a perfect storm that undermines heart function and accelerates the development of cardiovascular disease. These unhealthy lifestyle habits also feed into the growing issue of obesity and hidden health risks. More and more young adults are carrying excess weight, and this is not just about body size or appearance. Obesity, especially when it involves fat around vital organs like the heart and liver, is a serious health risk that affects how the body functions at a deep physiological level. Even individuals who appear to be a normal weight on the outside can have what is known as visceral fat, the dangerous fat that wraps around internal organs and silently interferes with metabolic processes. This hidden fat can exist even in people who look healthy, meaning outward appearance is not always a reliable gauge of underlying risk. For those with excess body fat, especially around the midsection, the risk of developing high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and artery damage increases significantly. This is because visceral fat releases inflammatory substances and hormones that interfere with the normal functioning of cells and organs. The inflammation and hormonal imbalance make it easier for arterial plaques to form and for blood pressure to rise, creating conditions that place added strain on the heart. Over time, the accumulation of these internal stresses wears down the cardiovascular system at a rate that was once uncommon in younger populations. One of the most insidious parts of this trend is the rise in high blood pressure and high cholesterol levels among young people. These conditions were once considered problems that appeared slowly over many decades, often linked to aging. Now, however, doctors are seeing high blood pressure readings in patients in their 20s and 30s with increasing frequency. High blood pressure means the heart must work harder to push blood through the body, dramatically increasing the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular emergencies. This condition often develops quietly with few obvious signs until it has already reached a dangerous level. High cholesterol, particularly levels of LDL cholesterol that are too high, contributes to the buildup of plaque in the arteries. This plaque narrows the vessels and restricts blood flow, making the heart work harder and increasing the risk of a blockage. When high blood pressure and high cholesterol exist together, they create a combination of forces that can accelerate heart damage much faster than either risk factor alone. It is this pairing of conditions that has led to a higher number of heart attacks and serious heart conditions in younger adults, breaking the old assumption that youth provides natural protection against cardiovascular disease. Yet another powerful factor contributing to early heart problems is the pressure and stress that many young people face in modern life. While stress has always been a part of the human experience, the intensity and constant nature of today's stressors are different from anything seen in previous generations. Young adults are navigating competitive work environments, financial uncertainty, academic pressures, social expectations amplified by social media, and a pervasive feeling of needing to succeed and perform at all times. Chronic stress triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can have profound effects on the body when elevated for long periods. These hormones increase blood pressure, elevate heart rate, and create a constant state of physiological tension that places added strain on the heart. When stress becomes a regular part of daily life without sufficient time for recovery and rest, the heart must operate in a near constant state of alertness. This chronic strain gradually weakens the cardiovascular system, making it more susceptible to damage, inflammation, and disease. Stress also often leads to unhealthy coping mechanisms like overeating, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and disrupted sleep patterns, all of which further harm heart health. The connection between stress and heart disease is powerful precisely because it operates both directly through physical pathways and indirectly through lifestyle habits that accompany stress. These factors, sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and chronic stress, do not act in isolation. Rather, they intertwine and amplify one another in ways that stealthily erode the body's defenses and accelerate the onset of heart problems. What once took decades to develop in the aging heart is now happening in a fraction of the time because modern life presents a unique set of conditions that overwhelm the body's natural capacity to maintain stability. Young people today are often juggling multiple responsibilities without the supportive structures that previous generations had, and they are exposed to environmental, social, and technological pressures that challenge their physical and mental resilience. This confluence of pressures and habits is reshaping the landscape of heart disease, making it a concern that cannot be dismissed as a condition of old age or distant future risk. Instead, heart health in youth is emerging as a critical issue that calls for attention, understanding, and action before the cumulative damage becomes irreversible. As health patterns continue to change, a new and troubling trend is becoming impossible to ignore, and that trend is the rise of early onset diseases in young people. Conditions like diabetes and hypertension that used to be much more common in older adults, but are now appearing in people in their 20s and 30s with increasing frequency. And what makes this shift especially dangerous is how silent these diseases can be, how they often progress without obvious signs, allowing serious damage to build up inside the body long before anyone realizes something is wrong. And because many young adults do not expect to be affected by these conditions at their age, they may never think to get tested. They may attribute subtle feelings of fatigue or occasional dizziness to stress or lack of sleep, and they continue on with their lives unaware that high blood sugar levels or rising blood pressure are slowly harming their heart and hardening their arteries, creating tiny injuries and blockages that over time accumulate into life threatening conditions, a process that can take months or even years before it becomes noticeable. And by the time symptoms do become clear enough to demand attention, the damage is already extensive, which makes early detection essential, yet all the more difficult because the disease itself does not announce its arrival in dramatic ways. It creeps in quietly, weakening the cardiovascular system from the inside. And this silent harm is one of the reasons why heart problems are now showing up earlier than expected in modern generations. At the same time that these early onset diseases are increasing in young adults, genetics and family history also play a significant role in shaping risk. And for some individuals, having a family history of heart issues, high blood pressure A's, or metabolic diseases like diabetes can create a predisposition that makes them more vulnerable even if they appear healthy and active. And this genetic risk does not guarantee that someone will develop heart problems, but it does increase their chances because their body may be wired to respond differently to stressors, to handle fats or sugars less effectively, or to develop inflammation more easily than someone without this background. And many people overlook the fact that their family history matters because they assume that what happened to a parent or grandparent is not relevant to their own life, especially when they are young. Yet the hereditary component can be a powerful influencer on how the body processes cholesterol, how the immune system responds to damage in blood vessels, and how resistant the arteries are to developing plaque, all hidden forces that work beneath the surface until a crisis suddenly makes them visible. Adding to this complex picture is the way symptoms are ignored or dismissed, and this is especially true among young people who generally believe that they are too young to face serious heart problems, and that belief leads them to minimize or rationalize warning signs that could be early indicators of something more serious, such as persistent fatigue that does not go away with rest, chest discomfort that comes and goes, shortness of breath during activities that used to feel easy, or unusual heaviness in the chest after meals or exercise. And because these sensations are often subtle and not severe enough to disrupt daily life immediately, they are easily written off as stress, lack of sleep, or temporary strain from workouts. And this pattern of ignoring or downplaying symptoms delays diagnosis and treatment, giving the underlying disease more time to progress unchecked. And by the time a person finally seeks medical advice, the condition may have already reached a dangerous stage that requires more invasive interventions, a reality that could have been avoided with earlier attention to seemingly small signs. All of these factors, the rise of silent early onset diseases like diabetes and hypertension, the hidden influence of genetics and family history, and the tendency for young people to overlook symptoms because they believe they are too young for such issues, combine with the larger lifestyle and environmental pressures that shape modern life, to create a scenario where heart problems are no longer rare surprises in youth, but growing concerns that demand awareness, education, and proactive care, which is why it is increasingly important for individuals to pay attention to their bodies, to understand the risks that may be present even without dramatic symptoms, and to recognize that heart health is affected by more than just age. It is shaped by a web of factors that can quietly build up over time until the consequences become too serious to ignore. The hidden dangers we've discussed today show that heart problems are no longer just an issue for older adults. They are happening earlier than ever, and awareness is the first step toward prevention. In the next video, we will explore practical, science backed solutions to protect your heart, from simple lifestyle changes to habits that can reduce your risk dramatically, and we'll show how acting now can make a real difference in the years to come. Don't wait until it's too late. Caring for your heart today means a stronger, healthier future. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, share it with friends and family so they can protect their hearts too, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on life-saving tips and strategies you won't want to miss. Your heart deserves attention now. Join us in the next video to learn how to take control and safeguard your health.